Hello everyone, and you're very welcome to today's webinar. Before we get started, I just want to say that this webinar is being recorded and we will send everyone a link to the recording in an email later today, along with a copy of the presentation slides. So first of all, I want to introduce ourselves. My name is Rachel Hines and I'm the Marketing Manager here at BrightPay. I'm delighted to be joined by Tom Kelly from Modular for today's webinar. Tom is the strategic lead for Modular's commitment to creating simple, secure, and reliable payment capabilities for SMEs and their accountants. And I'll be passing over the reins to Tom, who is going to be presenting today's webinar. And we do also have BrightPay's Managing Director, Paul Byrne, on with us as well. And Paul is going to be joining us for the questions and answers section at the end of today's webinar. If you have any questions, you can type them into the questions box on your control panel at the side of the screen, and we will try to get through as many questions as possible. To start off today, I want to look at why BrightPay have decided to partner with Modular. Here at BrightPay, a lot of what we do and a lot of the features that we introduce are about making your life easier. And you can clearly see this coming through in our new partnership with Modular. I know Tom is going to look at the functionality and the benefits in much more detail, but I just want to give you a quick introduction. In the past few years, payroll has transformed into a much more efficient process where many of the manual workflows are now automated. However, until now, when actually making payments to employees, it was a very manual process with lots of steps involved. And this is where our new integration with Modular comes in. Instead of creating bank files, you can choose a new option to pay by Modular. And this gives you a fast, secure, and easy way to make payments, not just to employees, but also to HMRC and subcontractors through BrightPay. And for accountants and payroll bureaus, you can offer this payment services as an add-on chargeable service to your clients. For now, I'm going to leave it as that, as I don't want to repeat too much of what Tom is going to go through. So Tom, I'll pass it over to you.
Thank you, Rachel. Modular are a payments as a service platform, and we focus on automating end-to-end payment flows. This enables partners such as BrightPay to embed payment functionality into their software and provide a seamless workflow for their customers. This will remove many manual processes that are inherent in traditional payment activity that your clients will be using today. When using a payment partner, it's important to choose a reliable solution. We pride ourselves on our reliability. Over 99% of all outbound faster payments are received within 90 seconds by our beneficiaries. And our platform uptime is over 99.99%, which means that the system will always be available whenever you need it, 24/7. It's important to know that Modular is regulated as an e-money institution by the Financial Conduct Authority, which means that all funds are ring-fenced and 100% protected. Modular has been established for over 5 years, and we've been trusted to move over 70 million payments, accounting for over £50 billion worth of payments value. So first, I want to look at why Modular for accountants and bureaus. Many of you on this webinar will be able to relate to some of the headaches caused by payroll and payment workflows. Outside of using the efficient payroll software such as BrightPay, actually making payments can become very focused on manual processes today. There are many pain points that can lead to costly errors. And if you're providing services involving payments for your clients, this needs to be right first time, every time. Dealing with lots of different processes across your client base will increase your overheads, become difficult to operate for your staff, and can become a costly overhead. As well as needing to keep up with the regulatory changes that often impact payroll processes and payroll models. So what are the benefits of using an integrated payment solution with BrightPay and Modular? Firstly, it will save you time and maximize your efficiencies. It will eliminate errors and automate your payment workflows as everything is connected in the background, removing the need to manually download files. The system operates real-time 24/7, enabling you to undertake payments activities at a time that suits your practice. You're connected into a secure and regulatory compliant network and enables you to offer seamless client experience that has been built with your client in mind and has been built with feedback from accountants and bureaus across the UK. Having real-time data will help provide richer client insights, which can help with cash flow forecasting. Now, an overview of how the solution works in practice. When the integration was built, it was important from a BrightPay perspective for you to continue to do what you already do with the solution. So we've not changed that process. You will run the payroll as you normally do. Once you've run the payroll, approvers within the client will receive a daily notification of any payments that are awaiting approval. The client can top up their Modular account with funds, and normally this can be done on the day that the payments need to be made, or they can maintain funds within the Modular account. Then all that needs to happen is whoever has been assigned as the authorizer within the client, they complete the approval process with just a few clicks, and then the payments will be released as payroll payments or HMRC payments. Payments can go immediately or can be future dated. In addition to the client experience, we also have an accountant functionality through Payment Dashboard. This provides one single dashboard that enables any accountancy practice or payroll bureau to undertake payments no matter which client software you use. This is all connected through a simple to use dashboard that is controlled and managed through the accountancy practice and enables you to maintain visibility of all of your clients' activities and payment activities on a daily basis. Our solution was built for accountants and bureaus based on feedback from accountants and their clients. As an accountant, you can view multiple companies and clients in the single platform, giving you better visibility of clients' data and helping you with accuracy and compliance. As we said earlier, this will significantly reduce the admin overhead and enables you to offer a better service to those clients. Importantly, from a client's perspective, this also becomes a seamless process. The client's able to approve pre-populated batches of payments in just a few clicks, and payments can be authorized by clients anywhere. The solution's built in the cloud, which means they don't need to operate any software on their devices. Approval permissions can be assigned to the accountant or bureau if required. So if you currently undertake all of the payment process on behalf of your clients, then our solution allows the client to delegate that authority to you. As I mentioned before, all of our outbound payments are transmitted by Faster Payment platform. This compares to the BACS processes, which are 90-second versus a 3-day BACS process. The Faster Payment Network enables payments to be sent 24/7, 365 days a year. You don't have to worry about the 3-day payment cycle that's with BACS, which enables you to manage your workflows in a much more efficient way with payroll payments can be made right up until the day that the recipient needs to receive the funds. By having automation and integration activity means that we can improve the accuracy, reduce the errors, and also the security as you're not handling manual files. We also have lots of customers that use the solution for one-offs and emergency payments, as they're able to be made at any time and you don't need to have the 3-day wait. Okay, we'll now move on to the product demo session. So Rachel's going to take you through the BrightPay functionality, and then I'll come back to show you how it works on the modular side.
Thanks, Tom. So yeah, I'm just going to jump in here again to show you the BrightPay side of things. So here we are in the payroll tab, and once you have finished processing your client's payroll and are ready to pay your client's employees, you can choose the pay option on the menu bar, followed by modular. On this screen here, it gives you an overview and an explanation of what this modular integration is. And there is a link here to sign up or to get more information about Modular. You will now be asked to authenticate your Modular account using two-factor authentication. To do so, you will need to have installed and registered Authy on your smartphone as part of the setup process. And when you receive a notification on your phone, you just need to select Approve, and BrightPay will automatically log you in. Next, you need to select the relevant client from the drop-down listing, and when ready, click Continue. On the next screen here, you have the option to select the account that you wish to pay from. You can amend the payment date, you can edit the employee reference if required, and you can pick and choose which employees you would like to pay. The payment amount for each employee will reflect the employee's take-home pay on their payslip for the pay period being paid. If you need to amend an employee's payment amount, for example, if they have been given an advance payment, you can amend the amounts here accordingly, but just be aware that it won't change the amount on the payslip, simply the amount being submitted to Modular. On the final screen, there will be a summary of the payment request, and once happy, simply click Send to Modular. You'll be asked once again to authenticate the payment using the Authy app on your smartphone, and once approved, confirmation will appear on the screen to let you know that the payment request was successfully sent. And now the client, or you on their behalf, can log into the Modular account to approve the payments. And in a few minutes, I'll pass you over to Tom to have a look at what this payment looks like once it appears in Modular. But before that, I want to go back to what I said earlier. And as well as paying employees with Modular, you can also make payments to HMRC and to subcontractors. So if I go to the HMRC Payments tab, here you can click on Pay HMRC and once again select Modular. As with paying employees, the first screen here will give you an overview of what you can do with the BrightPay and Modular integration. It's now connecting to Modular, and this time I don't need to redo the two-factor authentication on my phone, as I have just used it, so it still recognizes my login as approved. The payment details will now be displayed for review. The employee or the payee will automatically be populated with HMRC Cumbernauld, and this cannot be changed. The sort code and account number will automatically be populated with HMRC's bank account details to which the payment is due to be made, and therefore there is no need to change these. In order for HMRC to correctly identify your payment, the reference will automatically be set as your accounts office reference, and there will be an additional 4 digits at the end of your accounts office reference. And this is for HMRC to be able to identify the tax period you are paying for. So for example, the last 4 digits here are 22, which signifies the 21-22 tax year, and then 02, which lets HMRC know that this is the payment for the second tax period of the tax year. And this reference should not be changed, as it will be used by HMRC to allocate the payment to your account. An exception to this is where there happens to be a shortfall carried over from the previous tax period, in which BrightPay will not include the extra 4 digits by default, as the payment being made may relate to more than one tax period. Lastly then is the amount, and this is based on the amount due for the tax period, taking into account any amount already entered as paid on the HMRC payments screen. And this amount can be changed if required. And where the software detects that no amount is outstanding for the tax period in question, this will be brought to your attention. And I'll click on Continue. And a summary of the payments request will now be displayed for review. So I'll click on Send to Modular. A further auth request will now be sent to your mobile device, asking for you to approve the payment request submission, and confirmation that the payment request has been successfully sent to Modular will be displayed. And again, the client can log in to their Modular account to approve the payment to HMRC. Once a payment has successfully been made to HMRC, next you need to complete the client's HMRC payment screen accordingly by entering the amount paid to HMRC and the payment date. And I'll save. And finally, the third option is to pay subcontractors. So you can go to the CIS tab and once again select Pay by Modular. And I'm not going to show you this one again because it really is the same as making payments to HMRC and to employees. So Tom, I'll pass it back to you now to show you the payment side for employees.
Thank you, Rachel. So I'm now going to show you the client's view of the modular platform. So as Rachel just demonstrated, she showed you how you would submit the employee payments through the BrightPay solution, and then your client would log in to the modular platform. They would authenticate using the Authy app that Rachel talks about. So every client will be required to download the Authy authentication tool onto a mobile phone. Once they're logged in, they will be presented with this view, which will display any accounts that they have set up with Modular. Most clients will just have one account, but we're showing 2 here just to demonstrate that they can have multiple accounts. We'll also show their balance, which will be the funds available in which to make the payments. As we can see here, there are 3 approvals waiting. So as the client, I will click on the approvals, and I can see that there are 3 payments to be made to Donna, Samantha, and Simone. And they are totaling £937.96. So as the client, I would just make sure that I have available funds in my account to make those payments. I'd confirm that I'm happy with the contents, who they're being paid to, and the date that the payments are scheduled. So here it will show that the date the payments were submitted into the Modular platform, but also the date when the payments are due to be made. So in this case, Thursday, the 15th of July. I will then approve them. I can do individual ones, or I can select all. Click approve. Again, confirmation to say that I am approving 3 payments totaling £937.96. I authenticate to confirm those 3 payments on my mobile phone, and then you can see that there are no further approvals due. Now, because these payments that we've just approved are dated in the future, they will go into my pending tray, which I'll just show you, which will show that those payments are pending and are dated to send on Thursday, the 15th of July. Now, for every payment, there must be 3 criteria met. So it must be the due date, there must be available funds, and the payments must be approved. So until all of those conditions are met, then payments will sit in the pending. This enables you to make cancellations up until the point at which the payment has been released. Once payment has been released, or if it's an immediate payment, then the funds will be received into the employee's account within 90 seconds. So that's client's view. And then for accountants and bureaus, we also have an additional view, which I'll just log into and briefly show you. Again, as an accountant or bureau, you have the ability to click the approve on the authentication. And then as an accountant or bureau, you have a slightly different view, and this is the payment dashboard that I mentioned earlier in the session. And this gives you a view of all of your clients' activity. So I can see here that I have 5 clients with unapproved transactions. I can then drill down into those approvals. I can see which of my clients have actually got unapproved transactions. And this enables me to keep on top of payments that need to be made. And also if I've got clients that have missed the send dates that was being planned by either not having approvals or having funds available in the account. So always make sure that we keep on top of the client's activity and make sure that their employees are being paid on time. In addition to viewing unapproved payments, I can also see which of my customers haven't funded their accounts sufficiently. So in this example, I have one, and this is telling me that Corporate Tech Limited, and there's their account details. They would need £370.50 in order to remit the payments that have been submitted through the BrightPay solution. So this is just giving you that insight in addition to the client to keep track of where all of your clients are up to at any one time. The dashboard is automatically available to all accountants and bureaus that are set up onto the Modular solution. Okay, and I'll just now move on to talk you through the pricing arrangements, the approach to customer onboarding, and also the service and support. So firstly, if we look at pricing, okay, so we have so just having a little bit of trouble with the slides, 2 seconds. Okay, so we have 3 main pricing plans available for accountants and bureaus, and all of the pricing plans are transaction based, which means that you understand very clearly how much you're paying per transaction. There are no lengthy contract commitments. Everything is on a rolling monthly contract basis. So our standard package is 25p per transaction, and that is subject to a minimum monthly spend of just £10 per month. Now that £10 per month can be split across multiple clients. So this gives you the option to start off your process by launching to some initial clients, or even using it for yourself as an accountancy or payroll bureau for your own payroll. And that £10 includes 40 outbound transactions, and then any transaction over the £10 continues to be charged at 25 pence per transaction. Once you start to see higher volumes, or if you know from the start that you will be transacting significantly more than 40 outbound transactions, then we can offer reduced per transaction fees as we move through the extra and advanced packages. The extra package reduces the per transaction fee down to 23 pence per transaction, and that's subject to a minimum monthly spend of £115, which equates to 500 outbound transactions per month. As I said before, with the standard package, these packages can be used across your client base. Therefore, this allows you to onboard all of your clients if you wish, regardless of their volumes, because you're only looking at the collective send volumes to hit those minimums. Once you get over the 500 transactions, then all additional transactions will be charged at 23 pence per transaction. And then for the advanced package, which was for higher volume users, that's subject to a minimum monthly spend of £300, which enables you to bring down the per transaction fee down to 20 pence. Again, on a rolling monthly contract, and that includes 1,500 outbound transactions, which can be split across your client base, and all future transactions beyond that charged at 20 pence. If those volumes, if you're doing significantly higher volumes than the ones that we've described there, then please contact the Modular sales team, and we can look at the volumes that you're looking to do and potentially look at a more refined transaction plan for you. Next, I wanted to talk about onboarding your practice and your clients. So as I mentioned earlier, Modular is regulated by the FCA, which means that we are required to conduct due diligence checks on all customers. So this includes the accountancy, practice and payroll bureau initially, and also all of the clients that you wish to avail themselves of the solution. In order to do that, we need to collect information about each of your clients. And we do that using online application forms, which we'll provide to you. As long as all of the information is completed correctly by the client, and it's quite a straightforward setup, i.e. a simple company structure, then we normally expect clients to be approved within 2 days of submitting all of the correct information. It's important to bear in mind that you should allow time to set up your clients before your payroll run date. So we would normally suggest that you start this process a few weeks ahead of wanting to do the first payroll process through the Modular platform. This enables you time to set yourself up as the accountant or bureau, and then to invite your first number of clients to go through the process, allows them time to understand what they're being asked to do, to submit the application form, and then for Modular to do the necessary checks and open the accounts. Once the accounts are open, then you are free to start submitting payrolls. We also have details of the customer types that are acceptable to be onboarded onto the Modular platform, and those details are provided on our application pages on the website. So to get started, as I mentioned, the first thing you would need to do is to register the accountancy practice or bureau with us online. You can do that by following some links to the website after the webinar. Once we've received your application, Modular will review the details. Once we've confirmed all of the information provided, we'll then send you a welcome email. The welcome email contains a link which will enable you to log into the portal and start using the Modular payment dashboard that I showed you earlier. Once you've established yourself as a practice or bureau within the Modular system, then we will work with you to onboard your clients. To support this activity, we provide access to a dedicated practice enablement manager. Practice Enablement Manager will support you with planning and provide all of the tools that you need to promote the solution to your clients. The way the solution works is that you will invite your clients to use the platform. The clients will then submit their applications directly through the process. Modular will review each application, approve them, and then send a welcome email to each of the clients. Once the clients receive the emails, they'll just need to download the authentication app, Authy, that we showed during the demo. And then they need to do an important process which we call linking, delegate linking, which means that they are authorizing you as an accountant or bureau to act on their behalf when interacting with their payment account. The client will then be able to log in and start using the Modular portal, be able to view their balances and approve payments. At Modular, we offer dedicated customer support 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, with an enhanced level of support during core working hours of 8 to 6 on weekdays. As mentioned earlier, we also have our Practice Enablement Management function, which will support your rollout across your client base. The Practice Enablement Manager will talk you through the support solutions we have in place and resources. We've built a dedicated accountancy resource center, which provides all the materials that you would require to help promote the solution to your client base. Also walking you through any training materials on how to use the platform and details of how to go through the onboarding process. From a marketing perspective, we have access to lots of marketing materials that will help you interact with your clients, explain the process and explain the solution. And we can also tailor some of those to your needs if you have specific requirements. Brings us to the end of the slide deck part of the webinar. What I've put there is the Modular website, which takes you to a dedicated area, which will enable you to have access to all of the information that we've talked about today. And also an email address there, smallbusiness@modularfinance.com, which will take you directly through to my sales team and practice enablement team that can support you with the next steps. I'll now hand you over to Rachel, who's going to handle the questions section.
Brilliant. Thanks, Tom. And as I mentioned at the start of the webinar, if you do have any questions at all, just type them into the control panel and there'll be a questions box there on your screen. So yeah, the first question here is, do funds held in Modular benefit from the £85,000 guarantee the same as normal banks?
So it's a different level of protection because we are an e-money institution and not a bank. Then our regulatory requirements are different in that we have to ring fence 100% of funds. So with the bank arrangements for the £85,000, that doesn't apply here. We have ring fenced all of the client funds, which provides 100% protection.
Brilliant. Once payment is received by employees, do they see a payment from their employer with the employer name or Modular's name?
So all of the payments that are remitted on behalf of the clients will show their employer's name. So the information that we submit into the payment network will be the name of the client that is set up on the Modular account.
Great. Is there a minimum amount that must be held in Modular, or could we top up the Modular account monthly for the exact payroll amount?
So no, there's no minimum required to maintain the Modular account. In fact, a lot of our clients maintain it at zero. They and will just remit the funds as and when payroll needs to be run. So you can do that at any time, 24/7. We can receive payments inward via faster payments, via backs, or via chaps.
Okay,
Rachel, can
great.
I just barge in there, please? It's Paul here.
Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. No, I just wanted to say there in relation to that last question as well, that's exactly what we do. When I run the payroll, I look and see how much the actual, the take-home pay is for each employee, which obviously is produced on a report by BrightPay, and also the amount of the HMRC payment. So I will transfer that at the end of the month into Modular, and I will then approve the payments to the individual staff members, dated for, probably the following day or even today, as required, depending on the actual pay date itself. And I will post date the HMRC payment. I generally put it in as the 15th, which I think is plenty of time. And then when I log into Modular, I'll approve all the payments and I don't have to worry about it anymore. That's basically what I do.
Great.
Just in addition to that, we do also have some clients that will, if they're making sort of a regular or roughly regular amount that's being paid either weekly or monthly, some clients will set up a standing order for that amount, which will then automatically take the funds from your bank account on the defined date of the standing order, so that you don't need to think about those funding activities. And then if you've got additional funds that are sitting in the Modular account that you want to repatriate back to your bank account, then that's a simple process of just creating an ad hoc payment back to your bank account at any point.
Okay, that was actually my next question. Can money be transferred back? Yeah, another question here is, can you cancel a future dated payment that has been authorized but not yet reached the date of payment?
So the answer is yes. You can cancel a payment that is sitting in the pending payments that I showed during the demo. So that could be cancelled after it has been approved, but waiting for the future date to arrive, or if the funds have not been received to make that payment. So I mentioned earlier that there needs to be 3 criteria before the payment will be remitted. That is approval, the due date has been reached, and the funds have been received to cover the cost of the payment.
Brilliant. The next question here, Paul, I'm not sure if you want to take it, and Tom, you might have stuff to add as well. But will this be coming to the Mac version in 21-22, or should we consider this not an option? So I suppose, yeah, just to add, at the moment, it's only available with BrightPay for Windows, not BrightPay for Mac.
Yeah, I suppose it's all down to the numbers game. We're not actually considering it for the Mac version at the moment, but we are in development of an online version of BrightPay, which obviously will work on the Mac, and obviously Modular will be a big part of that online development. But at the moment, no, it's not planned for the actual desktop native Mac version.
And just to add, if there are any clients out there where you are using the Mac version and you do have a desire to offer faster payments, we do have an interim solution that we could use that does involve downloading a file from the Mac version and then uploading the file onto the Modular platform, which would then enable you to make faster payments. Obviously, it's not the full benefits of the integrated solution, but if anybody is interested in that aspect of the offering, then please contact us on this email address, smallbusiness@modularfinance.com, and we can provide you details.
Brilliant. Will we be able to pay staff on weekends using this system, as it uses the faster payments instead of backs?
So the answer is yes. The payment platform is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and you can submit payments and still benefit from the 90-second SLA, no matter what time you submit them or which day.
Okay. Does the funding in Modular have to be in place before the payments are authorized for future payments?
So the answer to that is no. The funding can be received at any point. The payments will just sit in the payment pending tray until the funds are received.
Okay. Is there a charge from the bank to the client for using faster payments via Modular?
Sorry, could you just repeat that question, Rachel?
Yeah. Is there a charge from the bank to the client for using faster payments via Modular?
So all the payments that you are making for employees will be charged in line with the modular fee structure that I talked through before, which starts at 25 pence per transaction. The only transaction that you will be making from the bank is just a single payment to fund the modular account. So you'll be making one faster payment from your bank into the modular account, and that may be subject to a fee from your bank, depending on which bank you use and what individual account arrangements you have with them, but you're just making one consolidated payment.
Okay. Do we put employee bank account details into BrightPay or into Modular?
So BrightPay should always be the single source of the truth on your employee data. So you would enter all of that into BrightPay. And then as part of the integration that BrightPay have built, as you submit payment requests, that then sends us the most up-to-date account details that are held within BrightPay to make sure that we're always paying to the most up-to-date information that you hold.
So basically, if you're already using bank files for paying your employees, all that information will already be within BrightPay. So it's a very smooth transition to using Modular in that case.
Brilliant. I know you have touched on already, Tom, but it has come in a few times again, but how do you add funds to Modular, or how do you top up the Modular account?
Okay, so you can send a faster payment, a BACS payment, or a CHAPS payment from your bank. So this just needs to be one single payment to cover the total of all the payments that you are making from the modular account. The payment can either be ad hoc and generated yourself through the bank. You can set up a standing order if you have a regular amount that you always want to pay. And we're also in the process of adding an add funds button into the modular platform, which will enable the user within the platform to start a payment initiation process through their bank. So they can say, I need to add, say, £10,000, click the button, and that will take you automatically into your bank online banking platform to approve the payment. And that's coming in over the next few weeks for individual clients.
Great. Just another question here on the pricing. Is this charged to the bureau or the individual employer?
So the charges goes to the bureau or the accountancy practice. We'll provide you with a single monthly invoice. And we also are able to provide a breakdown of the data relating to the individual client's volume usage, so to enable you to keep track of that. But the individual employers would not pay unless they had a separate arrangement with Modular to do their own payments.
Great. How long does it take to set up an account?
So in the slide deck there, I quoted a couple of days. Now that is based on us receiving full information from the client at the time of the application. And it also assumes that it's quite a simple company structure. If the client doesn't provide all of the information, or it's a non-standard application or a more complex company structure, then our compliance team may need to get in contact with the client to ask further questions or to request further information. That is what can add more time to the process. So that's why we always say to sort of plan ahead before you do your first pay run to kick off that process, just in case we do run into any challenges with individual clients.
Brilliant. The next question here, I am a bureau, but I also have one client who has their own BrightPay software, which I use on their behalf. Can they use Modular, and are their charges similar to the bureau charges?
So, so the answer is yes. The charging structure is exactly the same, but the added advantage you have as an accountant or a bureau is that you are getting the volume discounts across all of your clients, so that obviously you reach those discounts much quicker than you would if you were a direct employer that would need to meet those volume figures. But yes, we offer the solution both directly or via bureaus and accountants.
Brilliant. Okay, I think we're actually going to finish up there. There's only a couple of other questions there, but they're quite detailed and specific to the company, so we might get in touch to answer those ones directly. So yeah, we'll finish up there. Tom, thank you for joining us for today's webinar. It was great to have you on board, and thanks Paul as well for joining us for the questions. So yeah, thanks everyone for joining us for the webinar, and we hope you found it useful. Thank
Okay,
you.
thank you. Bye bye.
Thank you.
Bye.